Hello.
No, because your lights are on.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
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 Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's session
we're
107 of Mistwalkers.
Huh?
We're here.
Oh, that's loud. It's just
What's
me.
loud?
My headphones.
Oh, okay. So, happy Halloween. It's Halloween week. You know what that means? Spooktober. It's almost over.
Spoopy scary skellingtons.
We got a couple of one-shots still left, as well as our 12-hour marathon dungeon crawl on Saturday. So if you're interested in playing in that with me, then do the thing. Go to our... Well, I'm running it. If you were running it, I would have said you. Get out of here, Artemis.
If you ever run a game,
back.
Rob, I want to be in it.
Okay.
Anyway, go to tinyurl.com/vacplayer, fill out our RPG consent form, and join our Discord. Let us know that you want to play in it. The information is all in our Discord as well as on our social media. It is a drop-in, drop-out, so you do not have to stay for the entire 12 hours. That'll just be my crazy ass for sure. Probably Artemis and maybe Duality. I think that's the plan for sure, but join the three of us as we go crazy.
Too late.
You're not already there?
Crazier. You should know by now that we are doing this nonsense for Extra Life, which is an amazing organization that raises money for the Children's Miracle Network, hospitals, and pediatric wards across Canada and the US. Getting kids needed medical equipment, medical procedures, medicine, as well as sometimes just stocking their day rooms with stuff to do. A lot of gaming consoles.
STOCKING.
Yes, STOCK,
okay.
not STALK.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like...
You can go to tinyurl.com/vactairextralife-2024. Pick somebody from our roster and donate to them. It'll go either into the Children's Miracle Network to go to where the funds are needed the most, or if that person has a specific hospital that they're raising money for, it'll go to that hospital. If you do donate, I should say, you are entered to win our giveaway, which includes items from Chaosium, Gooey Cube, Extra Life themselves, and us here at the Bactair, just as a thank you for donating. There is one winner, but you'll get a ticket for joining or donating. So if you donate 3 times, that's 3 tickets. No minimum, no maximum. Just please consider donating. Our sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code THEVACTAIR, all one word, at checkout for 15% off of your order. Maggie's Dice Pick of the Week this week is the Nebula Dice. It's purple and yellow dice with glitter and white lettering. It's actually really pretty. As you can hear, we got some spoopy music going on, and that is from Monument Studios, who we are partnered with for their Fantasy Plus tabletop audio. 5,000 content creator friendly, royalty free, copyright free music that can be used on stream as well as in home games, whatever you like. It's also Foley, so their version of a Wilhelm scream, you can have it. And if you
Now I
know
need
what
to
that
hear
is,
it. Now I need to hear their
find
version.
I don't know where it is.
Ah.
It's 5,000 files, Cedar. I don't know where it is right now. But follow them over on Instagram at Monument Studios to get updates on the release of Fantasy Plus, and just keep an eye out for that. Our next upcoming Spooktober one-shot is tomorrow. It is actually the finale of October Colony, which is the Alien TTRPG mini-campaign with Mother Keisha from Potions and Potpourri. as well as a couple of familiar faces. The colony... Sorry, I got all mixed up there. A large portion of the crew is either infected or mildly contaminated, whatever the fuck that means. And the ship that wasn't supposed to land has landed. Brainworms might be a thing. Everything's fine. It's all fine here. How are you?
It's been a trip to watch them.
Can't complain.
That's for sure.
It's been something. Watching it on the replay while editing, yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's just so good at like horror stories. Like
She really is. She's really good.
She is bae. She is bae.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So who would like to give the recap from last session? I also do not want to give the recap from last session. Go ahead,
Stuff
Peter.
happened. We met Millie.
We set out, we trekked all the way across the city, which was apparently a very long trek. The trolley took us towards what we know is, in placement and in time and space, what remains of Castle Avernus, which is really fun. You know, we love that for ourselves. Before that, though, Razira dissociated, cleaned her guns. We got to go find Angers and find our lesson and learn it. Keeli is trying to figure out how to learn or atone, not alone, for her anchor. There's my prediction. I can't read that out loud. Breeze is reading their journal, looking between the facade, the culmination of their story and their real story, and remembers being captured, rescued, and meeting Mina, which they have told no one that they remember, which is very interesting and, traumatic for Breeze. Athelstan and Moira got into like a nuanced argument about whether or not Breeze was ginger.
Moria. And yes.
Moria, I'm sorry. Yes, Breeze is in fact ginger. Apparently, I'm a little colorblind, which is nothing to be ashamed of. We go towards Castle Avernus, where it would be. And then there's like this tiny little old lady in a very American Midwestern Gothic ranch house, and it turns out to be Millie. And she has lots of dogs, and that she fed us food, and then Athelstan went to sleep amongst the dogs, and everybody else went and slept in actual beds like normal people, or on the couch if you're Razira. And she came to him in the night and said, no matter what you see when you go, just remember that you are loved. When you get to where you're going, I'll be there. I'll be waiting. Don't forget and don't cry. Have a cupcake. Go to sleep. She went and checked on Keeli and everything.
It's not a ranch house because it has a second story.
A farmhouse.
It's a house that's on a ranch, Artemis.
Nuance, Artemis. Semantics. Do you have an American Gothic architectural degree? I'm texting my friend Brian.
Focus.
That's all I have.
Okay. Yes.
We started going there. Yep.
All right. So you had arrived at Castle Avernus by the end of the session, and you did find that there were sources of bleed, in particular 3, over there, and down there.
Yeah. Dungeon, mom,
Library.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was green glass all over the place.
Yes.
Glass.
Yes, you had surmised that this was the shattered King's Tier, where it had shattered.
I want to touch it.
Do the thing if you want to.
I'm not going to, but I want to.
So that's where we pick up. You stand amidst this. It looks, honestly, just like a regular plot of land. Lots of trees, grass. The only thing that's weird is the stuff that's poking up from below. So the really tall spires and a little bit of a parapet here and there, as well as this shattered green glass that's everywhere. Your bleed detector is, again, telling you that there are 3 major sources of bleed within this vicinity. So, what would you like to do?
Were
Right.
they all at about like the same strength level?
The
Doesn't exactly detect that.
I know necessarily strength, but like the spike that were coming from all of them.
they look comparable, but you also know that these are just sort of general identifiers. It could be that the one that looks the closest is actually further away, but it's the most powerful. But they look,
Seems like a flaw in the
relatively-
design.
yeah. It is definitely a flaw in this design, but they don't have, things like satellites. So,
We need Ulrich.
they,
Design them.
they just need to figure their shit out. So yeah,
Jeez.
they look comparable, but you're not sure of the distance. Judging by the height of the spire, if the castle below is in one piece, you would think that that's probably the one that's furthest away.
What does it feel like if Ulrich was here? He'd have somehow supercharged the blade detector and have it pinpoint the exact location.
I don't even know if Moira would have put him back together, knowing how dangerous he is. I keep getting her name wrong. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Moria,
Moria?
like the gates.
Yeah.
The gates of.
He manages.
Moria. Got
He
it.
manages to get. He manages to somehow learn all this stuff. Gets out of here. And brings the freaking technological revolution to the rest of Faerun.
But also, once again, leaves us behind.
Really, Ulrich is the BBEG of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's the one that got away. We weren't good enough for him. Anyway.
So what would you like to do?
Preferences?
This is
I
your
mean, do you
party,
want to go see your
Athelstan.
mom?
I think for the first time, well, not the first time, especially since we've been here, but like, you see, like, what Athelstan would look like if he were to blanch as a white man.
You mean instead of going a lighter shade of purple?
Lavender, more like, yeah. Like his scars. Oh, I don't even think about what color his scars are now. Anyway. This isn't my... You were here too, Keli. So was everybody else, but...
Have mine though.
Is it the only one?
Guess that remains to be
There's
seen.
quite a few things I could atone for. I don't want to, but I need to. Maybe I want to a little bit. But I shudder to think what a banshee looks like here.
But also, the lab
It's not the lab,
is
Keli,
crawling
it's the
around in
dungeon.
there.
The lab was up there.
Isn't the lab in the dungeon?
The lab was not the dungeon. The lab was upstairs. The dungeon was way deep below.
Oh.
You were
Someone's
never
not thought
allowed in the
was
lab.
In the dungeon.
You were never allowed in the lab. I mean, granted, not anybody. Really, nobody was, but
Make a focus roll, Keli.
I didn't.
Why you gotta do me like this?
You're the one that asked the question.
As a 3.
You don't remember anything in the dungeon, but you generally weren't allowed down there.
A couple of people went missing
Well.
down in the dungeon.
Which one do you think would be the closest tied to you?
Probably the one who beget me. I can't think why
No, I'm saying which location.
Probably the battlements, where I died for the second time.
Okay, well then, you should start there.
Okay,
Go see Mama.
we agree, so we do it.
All right, so you're heading to the battlements.
Oh God, I'm introducing
Uh,
this to my mother.
Athelstan,
Yes.
after you were thrown / fell from / pushed / whatever from the parapets, did you ever return there? Or did you avoid it like the plague?
I think more often than not, not more often, but like there were definitely times where he would end up near there. And I feel like maybe the times that he did actually get the courage up to, or even just kind of came back to himself and was there, he never saw anything or stayed long enough to see anything.
Okay.
Well, we did establish that Keela and Athelstan did Tai Chi up there together.
Not on the battlements.
On the walls, I guess.
Yeah, you would have used some of the
Rooftops.
parapets, the surrounding walls as, a place to be away from everybody, clear heads, get the breeze in your hair. This particular walkway was one you didn't go to as a general.
You weren't supposed to.
It was considered a little bit of a West Wing from Beauty and the Beast situation.
Yeah.
You didn't go there.
Maybe
You weren't
he
allowed
saw
to go there.
things. Maybe he saw things the few times he found himself there again, but maybe he didn't. Or he thought he did. Or he was afraid he would.
The walk in that direction, like you can sort of orientate yourself from the couple of spires that are poking up through the earth. It feels different, obviously, because you're not walking along the ground looking up. You're looking down almost to try and determine where this parapet, widow's walk, whatever you want to call it, exists.
Sorry, I cut out and you're walking above.
You're walking above where
Rather
you
than
would
looking
normally
up, got
be
it.
walking below and looking
Okay,
up.
sorry.
No, that's okay. So you're moving along and you've sort of figured out where this particular walkway, corridor, parapet, barricade, whatever you want to call it, is. You know that from the ground, it's generally about 35, 40 feet up. But from where you are now, you can just barely occasionally see like the tops of the, guarding stones that are separated that would like allow an arrow to be.
The walls and the slits, yeah. The
Yeah,
arrow
yeah, yeah.
slits and whatnot.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's a word for them, but I can't recall.
Yeah, I can't think of it either, but that's no surprise.
Murder holes?
Sure, let's go with murder holes.
I think
Somebody write that down.
Sounds a little bad.
Episode title.
Yep. The couple of stones you get, like, there's nothing really that makes them stand out. They're just, the topmost stones between the gaps where you would fire an arrow or thrust a spear or whatever. You get to a point, Athelstan in particular, like, even though you're not looking up at it or walking on it directly, you can kind of almost feel like the ground is like electrocuting you, but just very, very subtly. Like if you've ever grabbed a like an electrified fence around
Oh
like a
yeah,
cow.
that's a bite. That's more than just like light.
Yeah, but it's not like through your shoes and your socks. Like it's not super bitey. It doesn't hurt. You're just sort of
But
like
there's
aware
like
of this thrum.
A jump
Yeah.
in your calves.
Yeah, your
Not a
muscles kind
cattle
of
thing.
tense.
Makes your whole fucking body just go.
Yeah. It's a little bit more muted than that because it's not directly like you're not barefoot on the ground or anything, but you can feel it just kind of thrumming up your legs. The rest of you do not feel this. And it's right about where you're standing over top of where the bleed is identifying itself. This particular one, anyway.
It's here. I guess I'll look around if there's anything obvious, because if we're just about walking nearly on top of it, or what's left of it, maybe it's still here where he could find it.
Okay. So, how are you looking for it? Are you just visually searching, or
No, I'm not very good at that, so I think he's gonna
you're cutting out,
try
honey?
it. Sorry. I think he's going to try. I don't think extend your senses is really going to work in this one because it's roll with a sense to understand more about a phenomenon you've encountered.
This
Then
would be
he
a
doesn't- he hasn't-
phenomenon that you've encountered.
Okay, I think he'll use his specialty of the occultist, extend your senses. I get to also add a number of dice equal to my current intuition resistance to the roll.
Yep. So you can add another d6, and because you did the recap of the episode, you can add another d6.
Thanks, Daddy. Which sense? You said intuition. Okay.
So
It's
sense.
just a general sense roll.
Yep.
Okay.
So you've got 2 pips plus your extend the senses plus the bonus die that I just gave you.
And this is take the 2 highest? I'm confused.
The
No,
one
you just
highest.
take the highest.
Ah. Well, the highest is a 6.
Okay. Any doubles or anything?
2 3s, a 4, and a 6.
So you know that it's below you. That was sort of evident by how it's more or less vibrating up your legs.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure what it is, but you know that if you were to break the surface, it would not be very far down. Most likely it's on the parapet itself. And
Does he feel like he's standing right on top of it?
more or less, yeah.
He'll... Sorry, you were gonna say something else. You said and.
I don't remember. It's gone. That's okay.
Maybe this is.
If I were to
an
break,
echo.
I would be essentially, it would be right there. Right?
You think so? Yeah.
I guess he'll just kind of slowly sink down and sit back on his heels and just kind of start pulling away. I'm not sure if this is, you said it's kind of plainsy around here. It's not muddy, right? Like the other place was, right?
No, it's not muddy. It's a little bit of a mixture of plains with like copses of trees. So
Scrub.
yeah. So you're in like a scrubby kind of area that's sort of disguising a lot of the ruins that are popping up above the surface.
He'll start pulling at the scrub.
Sure.
Not trying to be like, not like being like, "Ugh." No, I think he's being very methodical about it.
What are the rest of you doing?
I offer Athelstan a tiny hand spade from my survival gear.
I want to do the bit from Doctor Who so bad. Why do you have a trowel? What kind of a man doesn't? I always carry a trowel. What kind of a man doesn't carry a trowel? Every man. Impossible. Put it on your Christmas list. I don't, Dad. I'm 32. I don't have a Christmas list. I do. All right. I will take the trowel and I will dig in my little garden of pain.
Okay. Breeze, what are you doing?
Probably just try to keep the dirt away from the like dirt or stone or whatever, like as it's being pulled out, just sort of pull it back further so it doesn't do that fall back into the hole, fall back into the
Ugh.
hole
So annoying.
Gotcha.
thing that's so annoying when
Thank
you're digging.
For sure,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Thank you.
What about you, Razira?
Probably just looking around.
Watch our 6 with your ass full of guns.
You can give me a survey roll.
Survey was. Oh, okay, so that's just 2 dice for me. If I can get a hold of the said dice.
Pour 'em out.
Yeah, to pour it out.
Yeah, I need dice.
Of course.
A 6.
6?
Ooh.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you see, like, again, this sort of scrub brush and the plains and this copse of trees that you're in. You definitely know that the green shattered king's tear is a glass-like substance. Because you got a 6, you hear just decently far away. I'll say probably like within a mile.
If you say an impish laugh, I'm going to be so mad.
An impish laugh.
Can't tell if you're serious or not.
I am 100% serious.
I'm so mad! Oh, I'm going to turn that little asshole inside out.
If they even remember anything.
Oh,
I don't care.
they remember.
No, I don't even care if he doesn't remember. I don't care. I don't care if he's happy to see me. I don't care. I'm turning his mouth hole into his asshole. Don't question it.
I'm questioning it.
There's going to be inflammation, and you should go to the ER.
Yeah, he's gonna get He's gonna have IBS and nausea at the same time.
That's fun. Love that for
Both
him.
ends are gonna be one end.
Well, that's only what Razira perceives.
Okay.
So whether Razira does anything with that information or not is up to them.
It's like a turd on the wind. Thank you.
She's just gonna mumble to herself, like, shouldn't they be dead or something?
Okay. I'll say with just how close everybody is, you all do hear that.
Hmm?
Look at Razira.
I think Athelstan just cut a look to her and just keep going.
Was that?
You can make
I
a
think
survey or a sense roll, Breeze. Go ahead, Razira.
I'm gonna say, I don't. She was going to say that she thinks she heard
Yep.
the annoying one.
Need to be more specific, Razira.
The owl?
The one that laughs.
Gualamus.
Just like Athelstan just like but he's still
Shouldn't-
digging.
When they bring it up, do we hear it?
Through the sound of Athelstan's trowel kind of like just moving gritty dirt and gravel, you do hear the
He's doing it for attention. Just ignore him. Athelstan is very single-mindedly on this.
Okay.
Almost driven to it.
All right.
I mean, I think I'm just waiting to see what Athelstan unearths.
Okay.
More
Your
dirt.
hand's probably on my weapon, though, just in case.
I have the ability also to speak the supernatural language of any phenomenon that I encounter.
Okay.
I think either be unknowingly or knowingly, and this is kind of like an echo to his like telepathic skill that he had before we exploded.
Yep.
I think he just says into the hole as he's digging, he's like, "Are you there?"
Who are you trying to reach out to?
I think he's trying to reach out to the Banshee. Because maybe he thinks that she has something from that night.
When you picture this, you're kind of crouched down above this parapet that's below the ground, and you're digging like a kid in a sand pit. And you just say to the earth,
Are you there?
you unconsciously tap into this speak their language ability. How would you describe the ethereal sounds that come out of your mouth as you ask this question?
Can't imagine it sounds very good. Maybe like... You know, like when whales are talking to each other?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Athelstan.
No, like when they're squeaking and like, you know, like in like
Yeah.
from Free Willy, like in Free Willy when he was crying.
Yeah, not Dory. I know.
Yeah, that really.
Or
yeah,
the Star Trek one with the ocean
yeah,
song. Yeah.
yeah, the ocean song. Make it and it's like painful.
I'll add the caveat that it's
It's not
Almo-
quite banshee like, but
I'll add the caveat that it almost sounds like when you scratch a record.
yeah.
It has that kind of high-pitched squealing, scratching
Mhm.
that almost echoes
Perfect.
the words that you're saying. And so you have this, are you there? But it's deeper and pained and scratchy and shrill in some regards. And the rest of you do hear this. So I need all of you except Athelstan to give me a... We'll go with control. A control roll. This will be to prevent a brain mark.
5.
I think that black and green smoke just kind of like trails through his fingertips as he's digging.
Okay.
I don't know if that goes on with his eyes or not, but I'll leave that to you. In the meantime, look at this girl. Look at this chubby girl.
Aw,
Resistance does what again?
lets you re-roll
Okay.
if you feel you failed your save, essentially.
So if I have like the disadvantage on that, if I re-roll, do I roll at disadvantage again?
Unless you use a drive, yeah.
Okay. I've got one drive in that. Okay, I'll use resistant to drive on that then. And
Okay.
we'll see what we get out of that. Oh, good. 6.
All right. Good save. What'd you get, Keeley?
I got a 4.
So everybody's fine. You're not going to take a brain mark, but you definitely feel like, kind of like reach up and wiggle your finger in your ear, and you pull it out, and there's like a little bit of blood on your fingertip. Stan, you don't so much hear a response as you feel it. The pulsing that's underneath your feet briefly clenches, like something's wrapping around your boots before releasing. And just as that happens, you feel the trowel give, like you've poked a hole into a hole.
You'll
It's
widen
about.
it.
All right. It's about. Charles, what, like this big?
About there, from the
Yeah.
blade to the tip, the edge of the tip.
So you're about 16, 18 inches in to the earth. It wasn't very sturdy earth, and from your lessons with Atlas, you know that this could possibly expand very quickly if you're not careful.
Be very careful.
All right, how are you being careful?
I think pulling. So, one thing that plants are great for, certain types of plants, is like preventing erosion and mudslides and earthquakes and like sinkholes and stuff like that. So I think he's really focused how much that he had removed when it came to that scrub brush and whatnot, in this very centered, very, very like he didn't canoe it down to get to like make the edges weaker here. He made it very kind of straight down, very even, very,
Okay.
very methodical,
Very demure.
super mindful.
Okay, well, how about you give me a control roll to see how well you did?
Okay.
Jerry, you're 18 inches deep.
I have no control, which is one of my problems here.
You can use a drive to basically negate your disadvantage.
Okay. 4.
And that was with using a drive?
Yep. Unless you add them together.
Nope.
4.
4. Okay. So you are successful in the fact that you are like very tubular, heading down and pushing into the earth, but the problem is that the erosion is already progressed in such a way that there is not a whole lot of wiggle room for
Back up.
success.
Everyone back up.
So everybody's gonna have to give me a move roll to try and evade this area as the sinkhole begins to open up rapidly.
Does he can his warning give them any type of plus or advantage?
Nope. It's happening far too quickly. You basically went through the earth, started trying to make the hole bigger, and now it's like really getting bigger.
I rolled 2 2s.
Sucks to suck.
Yep.
Got a 6 on my gilded die.
Double six.
Okay. Nice. Okay, Keli, you can take a
Okay.
drive back in move or nerve if you have used one.
I've used one.
Okay. And you got double sixes, Breeze?
Yeah, not that it matters, but
No, because that does change things.
oh, okay.
Because we're gonna do it for the lulz. And Razira got 2 2s.
Yep.
Doing great, sweetie.
We
Yep.
have luck, you know. Or not luck. We have drives in the we have a drive in the pool, a singular drive.
Yes. So, as you are starting to scramble back, this sinkhole is beginning to open. And you can see the decaying earth and the scrub grass, a bit of a smaller bush that's on the other side, beginning to sink into the earth as it opens and expands and rolls back. And all of you are kind of like scrambling back. Athelstan, what did you roll again?
I didn't
Oh.
think I had the opportunity.
Yeah,
What
no,
was it,
you
a
still have
control
the
roll.
move roll.
Oh.
You still have the opportunity to try and evade this.
I'm
Which-
gonna save my last drive in nerve and just
Okay.
roll with
You
disadvantage.
can have one of mine.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, we can share drives.
5.
5? Okay. You're like scrambling back and your foot slips at one point as the ground sinks, but you're like still like crab walking back to try and
I
get
think
out of the way.
his butt cheeks are scooching him back.
Yeah. You can still feel this thrumming on like everything that you touch. So you feel it in your hands, you feel it in your feet, you feel it on your butt as you're scrabbling backwards. Keli, you're able to move yourself in such a way that you've more or less sidestepped, because the way this is opening up is almost like an eyeball as opposed to a circle. It's
That
opening
won't
up
hurt you.
like a crevice. Breeze, I will give you an additional move that you can take, and you can do with it what you will in this scenario.
Okay.
So as you are backing up from this expanding eye-like chasm, you see Razira starting to slip. Razira falls, and then the ground begins to pull down from under her. You also see Athelstan crab walking backwards. You see Keli sidestepping. And then you also see a 5'2" skinny man emerging from the forest.
Are you fucking kidding
Oh,
me? He
no.
gets to be a human? It'll be that much easier to kill him.
So what would you like to do with your extra movement? Or action, if you want to put it that way.
Try and
Get the cat.
grab Razira.
Because you roll double sixes, I'm not going to make you roll for it again. You are able to kind of grab Razira by her like bandolier or something, yank them back enough to avoid the opening chasm. Razira, you scramble up to your feet with Breeze's assistance, and you're all sort of still moving back, and you still hear this cackling behind you.
I don't pay him any mind. He's doing it for attention. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me.
What are the rest of you doing?
Trying not to fall back down the hole.
I want to look in the hole.
Get to that in a minute. Eli?
I mean, if I see that Athelstan is like on the ground backing up, I would probably like try to yank them so that they're over next to me where it's solid.
Okay. You can give me a move roll.
5.
Yeah, you're able to, again, you're just kind of grabbing the strap of Athelstan's satchel and like yanking him up and back. You're able to move him out of the way. The opening eye of this sinkhole has slowed, but is still decaying. Slowly.
Okay.
Breeze?
Just sort of keep an eye on everything around.
Okay.
Make sure Squalamus isn't coming too much closer. See if anything else shows up.
Sure, give me a survey roll.
I get 2 of those ones gilded. And we'll just throw a drive in there too.
Okay.
6
6.
on the gilded die, so I get
Sweet.
that drive back.
So you can take that drive back. Yep. As you're kind of like watching, you've still got like a hand on Razira's bandolier, and you're kind of shuffling back. You're keeping an eye on the sort of creeping decay of this sinkhole, and then you look over at Squalamus over your shoulder, and you see him like he's sort of like hunched over, and he's like wringing his hands together as he like cackles and giggles.
Like a fly.
You can almost picture like, you know, the impish horns and like the kind of like long hooked nose and the tail. And then he reaches into his suit jacket and pulls out a scythe. And it's very like anime-ish. It kind of like does the with the light across the very sharp edge.
Oh, baby, make my day.
And he advances.
We're like up in the air, right?
No, everybody's like
Okay,
on the
we're
flat ground.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were going up to the battlements.
You are
The battlements are
technically on the
underneath us.
Yeah, the battlements
okay,
are underneath the
okay.
ground underneath you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This hole shouldn't be that deep then, because like the what did I say they were called? Ensa.
Whatever they're called.
Excuse me.
Holes?
Embrasures.
The top caps of the walls.
They're not terribly high.
Yeah, they're about like 6.5 feet ish.
I'm
At
almost
most.
6.5 feet. Wow.
Yeah.
At least in this form. It's weird. It's nice though.
So what
Anyway.
are you all doing? Breeze, you're the one that has seen Squalamus draw a weapon and begin to advance towards you.
How far away would he be?
You would think about 25, 30-ish feet.
We're gonna have a problem momentarily here, Athelstan. Your former imp is advancing.
All right. He'll push himself up to stand, taking a few steps back, turning. He'll reach into his bag with one hand and conjure a blade with the other. Mechanical hand reaching into his bag behind him, and he looks Squalamus in the face.
I know you. I've
And
seen
pulls
you in
out
dreams.
one of Millie's cupcakes.
He's got one of, or she's got, sorry. He's got
Half
one of
of it,
Millie's.
yep.
Okay.
Yep, remember she gave it to him? She
Yep.
gave him one?
Yep. Well, you've got like a whole
Yeah.
kit and
Oh yeah,
caboodle.
she gave us a gift basket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Anyway, he takes a cupcake out from the gift basket. Hello. The more things change, the more they say the same, huh?
Why do I know you? Why are you in my dreams?
You seem pretty awake to us.
Yes, that would be accurate, but I do have to sleep sometimes.
Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know?
Maybe. Also want to take out your pretty little tongues. I'm torn.
You will be if you don't put the scythe away.
Mm,
It's not a very practical weapon, it's meant for wheat.
it works quite well on the backs of people's necks. Or the fronts if I come up behind them. Why is it so sugary?
What?
Why is
Shivery?
it so sugary?
Oh, sugary.
Taste it from here.
Makes you feel happy, doesn't it?
Tongues are Tongues are cupcakes.
Try it and find out. And he throws the cupcake at him.
He doesn't even realize what is happening exactly, except that he needs this cupcake. So he doesn't drop his scythe, but he moves towards the cupcake to kind of grab it, and it
I
ends up getting
definitely, kind of-
smushed.
Yeah, I definitely kind of You said he was kind of close.
25, 30 feet.
I can't cover that as a human then, probably. I don't know how Candela works.
It's about comparable, but depends
It's like
on
from
who
one
you are.
it's like from one end of my hallway to another.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I can't. I'll just start kind of casually walking towards him.
After tossing the cupcake?
Yeah.
All right, so he's grabbed it and he's juggling. He's got his scythe kind of poking out this way, and he's smushed the cupcake up against his chest. It's smeared all over his button down and his thigh. But he's like,
Pull out another one. Walking like almost like, you know, when you would walk across the beam and you like kind of tip one foot and tip another foot and tip your other foot and tip your other foot, kind of almost like a jaunty trot, circling slightly to one side.
he's like, as he's like licking his hands, he like picks up his tie and like licks the icing off of it. He's moving in such a way that you're sort of circling each other, but he's also keeping an eye on the other three.
So what do you want? Tongues or cupcakes?
Eye starts twitching, and you can see the vein grow in his forehead.
I stop when he's between us. And he's effectively surrounded.
He doesn't let himself get there.
Oh, okay.
He basically, when you start to push him in that direction, he
tries to
pushes
push me
back.
over there.
So you're sort of at a stalemate of,
And I don't move.
why are you in my dreams?
Because I'm very important.
Didn't seem to be in my dreams. You got kicked around like a little dog.
That was the point. I should be more specific. My body was very important. But my spirit, that was meant to be broken.
Don't understand. You're just a normal white man.
But in your dreams, I'm purple, aren't I?
It's colorblind. Colorblind. It must be colorblind.
Soft apricot skin doesn't become purple when you're colorblind. That's not how the rods in the eyes work. Squalamus.
Oh, rods in the eyes. That's what we should do. Take your tongues, put rods in your eyes.
What do you want? I don't have time for this.
Death.
You want death? Okay.
Yours.
Eli,
Stop
Breeze,
haunting me.
Razira, and I toss him toss the cupcake up in the air. Do like the bottle trick.
Okay. So are you engaging in violence?
I probably will be,
Okay.
because he's not gonna let me go scot-free.
All right. Who has the most pips in move?
I have
got
none.
2.
2.
2 with a gilded.
Zero, do you have a gilded?
Nope.
Eli, what do you do?
I guess he's how far from where I'm standing? About 20 feet, you said?
25, 30.
Probably less now that we've kind of like evened the playing field.
They didn't move. You did.
Oh, okay. I thought he matched me and then like stopped matching me.
He matched you, but nobody else said they moved.
Oh,
So they are where they were near the
Okay.
sinkhole.
cool.
I am going to if it looks like Athelstan is going to actually attack, I'm going to
It does.
run at
Before you do
Koalamus
that-
and try to knock him down.
Give me a read roll to see if you can discern Athelstan's intentions.
Have we been in bar fights together?
Probably.
Rolled a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you're able
You
to
hit-
determine that Athelstan will,
You
at the very least, defend himself.
you hear in your head like a past Athelstan, like 17-year-old Athelstan, never ever watch the bottle. And he throws it in the air in the middle of a bar.
So you, in
Yeah,
the back
I
of your
mean,
mind,
it-
you have this sort of vision suddenly play of Athelstan giving you an eye across the bar, holding a bottle, and then flipping it up towards the ceiling, and the person in front of him follows the bottle, and then Athelstan pops him in the face. So you know this sort of tactic is familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I will run at Squalamus and try to knock him down.
Okay, give me a strike roll.
Schmorglag taught him that trick because he punched him in the face with it.
You said strike, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I got 3 5s.
Jeez.
Okay. Describe to me what you do as you connect with Squalmus.
I mean, Keela is not trying to injure him, mostly just knock him down. So I
Okay.
feel like she would just like bear tackle him, and like all of her weight just goes into that, like drops her shoulder at the last second kind of thing, and just arms around him and drops him down to the ground.
Okay. Yeah, that is absolutely what happens. You put your shoulder right into his sternum, knock the wind out of him, and he's down on the ground. You also now have cupcake everywhere, and the other cupcake falls and like lands on you, on your back. But it's fine because it's just a cupcake. It's not a bottle. Squalamus, however, on the ground, still has his scythe in hand and is going to try and attack you. So you can give me an opposed move roll to my strike roll.
I just rolled a 6 on my regular die, not my gilded.
All right. So I rolled 2 6s. And so he's going to swipe with his scythe. Your upper arm gets slashed. And I believe you have body armor, so that's going to soak that.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so you're not going to take a body mark.
Okay.
But you don't have that buffer anymore. Razira, what do you do?
Well, if she's saying this, she's going to move to attack.
Okay. How are you attacking?
With the frickin' Wolverine claws, just try and slice the frickin' scythe in half, I guess.
So you're aiming for the scythe specifically?
The scythe or his hands?
One or the other, pick one.
The scythe.
Scythe? Okay. Give me a strike roll.
Alright, so 2 regular and a gilded. 6 non-gilded.
6 gilded. Okay. You are able to, like, the way the claws work, they sort of knot together, and you're able to essentially trap the scythe. The claws themselves are not built for shredding metal, but you do have the scythe essentially incapacitated for the moment. Okay.
Okay.
Breeze and Athelstan, control rolls, how many pips?
No pips.
No pips?
Pips.
Move?
No
I
pip.
think we're both at 2.
You have no pips in move?
No pip.
Okay.
I got 2.
So Breeze, what are you doing?
Okay, well, I can't talk anymore. He's done talking. I'm gonna probably try to give Athelstan some cover. Just remember where he is and where our friends are, and I throw a smoke bomb in front of Athelstan.
Okay. Just give me a control roll for funsies.
Okay. That's a bridge set there. A 2.
2. Bless me. So this is the first time you've actually used the smoke bombs.
Yes.
You have that sort of ingrained knowledge that was given to you when you were remade here, but the actual like finesse of doing that is not so great. So you like pull the pin and like throw it, and then it basically explodes like 1 foot away from you. So the smoke is there, but it's not where you intended.
Kick the canister.
Yeah, so you can kick the canister on your next turn.
Okay.
Right now, it's just kind of like smoking and filling the area directly in front of you. The rest of you just see that and don't exactly know what the plan was there. Athelstan,
I'm hiding.
what are you doing,
You
Athelstan?
can't see me.
John Cena! I'm John Cena!
um, Athelstan, it's appropriate that he comes in last, because he just takes a like a casual step forward, and I don't know if I'm able to put any of my powers into it, but I do have pips and drives in cunning and sway, and under sway it says command, and there is a part of Squalamus that did listen to Athelstan, and Athelstan's gonna say, "Drop it!"
Okay. Let me take a look. Yeah, you can go ahead and give me a sway roll.
I'm gonna spend a drive to up my chances.
Okay.
And I have a gilded die in this. Okay, that is 2 6s. One of those 6s is in the gilded.
Nice. Okay.
So I'll take that drive back.
So you lay out the scene for me. Squalamus is currently on the ground with Keli essentially on top of him and a cupcake smushed on their back. Razira is standing off to the side, having caught the scythe between their wolverine claws. Breeze has essentially dropped a smoke bomb right in front of themselves. You were the closest to Squalamus when this all started. So what happens?
I take that step forward, and it's like one of those faking step forwards where you stomp 1 foot forward and you kind of throw a bit of yourself forward, and he really lets that come from way below, and even a part of that record scratch might even be it might be a part of the edges of his tone, and that greenish black smoke just kind of billows around his fingertips as he turns the knife in his hand, and maybe even flows from his mouth when he basically shouts, when he commands, "This little motherfucker." He's not going to make this easy. He's all out of mercy.
Okay.
This fucker, no matter what form he was, aided in taking something very important from him.
Okay. So, instinct rides over rational thought for Squalamus, and you see his hand immediately release from around the handle of the scythe. Razira, you're able to move in such a way as to like pull it out of his arm's reach. Keli, you have had your armor cut to a point where it's no longer functional, but you're uninjured. You're still on top of him. What do you do?
I think
Break him.
Eli is just trying to restrain him.
Okay. How do you restrain him? Or try to?
Well, since she like knocked him down and like used like her entire body force to sort of do that, I picture she kind of like has him flat on the ground and tries to like put her knee like in his back. to hold him in place.
Okay, so you're trying to flip him over and get your knee in his back?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a... We'll say it's another strike.
5.
I rolled double ones. So...
Dirt.
Yeah, he's eating
She
dirt.
basically just like yoink and then
Not delicious cupcakes. He's eating dirt.
yeah.
Rub his nose in it.
But he's not...
And just kind of is like
No, go ahead.
she basically just like says down to him like just be still. She like tries to hold him in place.
Okay. He is not staying still. He is fighting to get himself free. So you can use a control roll to try and keep
Well,
him.
Razira would do something if he's struggling against her like that.
You can when it's your turn.
No. Never mind then.
I'm going to use a drive.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay, I got a 5. So he's able to kind of wriggle out from underneath you. Now, Razira, what are you doing?
If he's still on the ground, Razira is just gonna end the blunt end of the scythe and nail him in the crotch.
Okay. He's getting up, so he's not on the ground. He's like midway up.
Well, she's short too.
Yeah, like you can try and hit him with a strike in the junk.
Just kick him.
A 5.
5? Yeah. Yeah, you hit him in the junk. The
Right in the nards.
screech that he lets out, though, is nothing human. So everybody is going to give me a control roll to avoid a brain. Or, sorry, a bleed mark.
A 4.
Also a 4.
That's another 2.
4.
Okay, everybody's taking a bleed.
Yeah.
The sound that comes out of Squallman's mouth is something so beyond anything that a human could possibly make. It's that same sort of discordant, record scratchy noise, but it's so much more than that. You were talking, Athelstan, to the dead. Squalamus is very much alive and demonic. And in this reality, that is not something that most people come across. And your body is just not built to deal with that. It's just something other. And it's disconcerting. Like, logically, you know that this is Squalamus. You know that he's an imp. You know that he's just a little shithead. But the way your body responds is not entirely in your control. So, again, everybody takes a bleed. You have anything that you can use to avoid the bleed? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Not bleed.
Not sure if, I mean, it's not going to help me. It might help others. Forbidden ritual, but
That's forbidden.
so you can create a highly complex and extremely dangerous ritual that will achieve the desired outcome. But when you use this ritual, you take a bleed scar immediately. You determine what the ritual is and what its effects are of the following, whether it be changing the environment, conjuring a phenomenon, or saving a dying person. I'm not sure if that would apply here.
If you can talk me into it, absolutely, you can make it. You just have to tell me how you would do it.
In changing the environment, maybe making the air directly around Squalamus, making that an air of the past and turning his own demons back upon him in that moment of his screaming, therefore keeping the bleed from affecting his party and himself, except he will it is a double-edged sword, so he would take a mark from that. he wants Squalamus to remember. He's heard that if you learn, your brain will explode. So if he can mirror that back.
So you won't be able to negate the bleed marks that everybody has, but you will be able to adjust everything that happens after that. So if you want to change the environment, you would be able to summon vines from the ground and wrap them around Squalamus so he can't move. Or something to that effect.
Show him what he really is, I guess.
You can conjure a phenomenon that will basically not revert him to an impolite
Hey, yeah.
appearance, but he'll be able to. He'll have like the body dysmorphia of this is what I actually look like, and this is how I look now, and I just can't.
The madness of what is and what isn't, but what could be, but what will never be, I guess. What if I turn it into, like, take that, turn it and do a callback? Look into my eyes.
So you're gonna make yourself look that way, or like your old self.
Bring us in this space. It's me and him. Bring it back to where it began. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So what actions do you take to make this ritual happen? Like what sort of things do you do to summon your former visage?
I think that in it being his former visage, this is where they are right now, is at least a shadow of where he was born, where he became what he is, and what he was. This is the most time. This is the place that held Athelstan for the longest time. This is the place that Athelstan left the biggest parts of himself, where he grew. So I think he could, in some way or another, and the fact that his blood was a part, like where his blood came from and where his souls came from are inherently part of this place, or what is left of this place, even in affecting of the tear itself, which is scattered upon the ground, perhaps drawing like one would the vines from below, like tapping into some sort of a network of remembering, taking that, what I keep describing as like this greenish black smoke, and drawing it up from the ground almost to kind of cocoon the two of us, so that he can only see himself and me as I see him, and myself as I once was or could be.
Okay. So
And it's not pretty.
No. This is your full 6-armed, 6-legged, trio-tailed, millions of wings, millions of eyes look. And Squalamus, the rest of you see Squalamus just sort of stop dead and stare at Athelstan. And despite the like demonic shrieking that he was giving out, you can tell that he's seeing something that's terrifying to him. So this is the first time we've had a scar in play. As Squalamus passes out with his own brain scar, you pass out from your bleed. So when this happens, you're going to take all of your bleed marks off, and you're going to give yourself a scar. And when you give yourself a scar, you're going to take something that you have existing that is related to what you just did. So I would say that this would be a sense or a sway. And you're going to move one of your pips around.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll let you think on that, and we'll come back to that. So all of you see, for a moment, Athelstan and Squalamus are staring at each other. Squalamus goes white as a sheet, probably pees himself a little bit, and then passes out. Athelstan passes out directly after.
I think it just falls forward, face in the dust.
I did not intend that to happen.
I have a mechanical question, real quick.
Okay.
Just about our character sheets. For the roles that we have, I have a thing called adrenaline rush, which just means for every mark you take, you can immediately refresh a drive point. Does that just automatically happen when I take a mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that I was marking this correctly.
No problem.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't used any.
That happens. The drives come back pretty easily. It's the resistances that don't. So what do the rest of you do as you watch Swalmus and Athelstan both collapse?
I run to Athelstan.
Reese?
I was starting towards Athelstan, but I just want to make sure that Squalamus is held.
Sure. So your smoke
Rosira, you got her?
bomb is
Or
still
got him?
going off, and you're like,
Yeah. Get through it. Yeah, just like get through it, see Athelstan on the ground, and Squalamus on the ground, and...
Razira's debating.
Rosira, you got him?
Razira's debating whether she wants to put the scythe down in such a way that if Swallomus moves, he cuts his own head off.
dark.
She doesn't
Candela,
trust.
are you surprised?
No, not at all. What do you want to do then, Razira?
Probably look around, try and find rope or something if she doesn't have it.
Yeah, if you don't have it specifically, it would be in Keela's pack.
Well, then tie up Swallomus. Look like a damn pig about to be thrown over the fire.
Hog tie? Alright.
Yep.
Okay. Eli, as you look down at Athelstan, where's your scar at, Athelstan?
I'm having trouble with that, you know?
Mm-hmm. You did just make yourself look like your old self.
Yeah.
So...
I almost feel like that was very like cognitive, very memory. Maybe like something. His hair is cut now, so you could probably see it very easily now. Even more like along the temples and maybe to meet the scar on the back of his head, where his mom pushed him off the battlement.
just like a line?
What?
I don't know. Maybe more like a burst.
Oh, like a starburst sort of situation?
Yeah,
Not the
Yeah.
candy?
yeah,
Like a shatter pattern almost.
yeah,
On his temples?
yeah. On either side, as if something just went right.
I like it.
Is it colored purple?
Yeah.
Yeah, mysteriously, all of his scars are kind of lavender purplish.
Alright. And what did you move where?
You said it would have to be like sense or sway kind of related.
Yep.
I almost feel like I would take something from sway and place it into sense, because reveal is one of the words in sense.
Okay.
But I also feel it could go the other way.
That's why I said either one.
With convince. But I feel like maybe reveal is where I'm going to go with it.
Okay. So 1 out of sway into sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So Keela, you're the first to see these new sort of shatter patterns on the temples. It almost looks like when rock gets cracked, you have the hammer point where the hammer hit, or the chisel, the hammer hit the chisel, whatever. And then it sort of splinters out along his cheek and his forehead and underneath his hair. And you can see there are a couple that kind of just trickle down towards the claw marks on his cheeks on both sides. And they are slightly purple.
Somewhere past the fourth wall, you just hear a groan because somebody just did art for this character. That's
You
the
that
main
was
part of it.
that was your own choice, man. That
I
was
know.
that was your shipping art.
The shipping
That
art
wasn't even
is fine.
it. Like, I'm working on new character art for when we do eventually.
Oh.
go back to
Literally
D&D.
all you got to do is just add a little bit of a starburst.
I
It's
know.
fine. Suck it.
All right.
Like, I guess, I mean, she would immediately check that he's breathing, obviously.
He is breathing. He's alive. He's just unconscious.
Terry.
I miss Terry.
Me too. I love Terry.
Yeah.
We gotta poke
Ah.
Em with a stick so she runs
Yeah.
another bones.
Magic is not
episode.
real. Don't be absurd. Does magic.
We know. So, Athelstan, you are 1 scar away from retiring.
It's not my fault. I came into it with 2 scars.
These are the consequences of your actions.
Well, I figured we're not playing Candela too long, so
What are the rest of you doing?
Baiting and throttling him in his sleep.
Okay.
Trying to wake him up.
Sure. How do you wake him up? Or try to? Some Sleeping Beauty shit?
No.
Gay.
Yay!
Just like little bit of a shake and like maybe like throwing water on his face.
Sprinkling water on his
and-
face.
Yeah.
Okay. It takes a little bit. Athelstan is a little bit soaked. But he does wake. You feel shitty. You have a bit of a headache. And you feel more in tune with everything around you. That thrumming underneath you. Because while you fell on your face, I'm assuming your friends have turned you onto your back. So that you're not eating dirt too. You can feel it from the back of your head to your heels. And for a moment, you get that same sensation of everything curling around you, like it had on your boots, squeezing, and then letting go.
he sits up. Much like he used to when upon waking
King
up.
style.
Yep.
What happened? What'd you do?
He'll glance down to around for his knife. And I guess kind of come to a realization that he can just pull it from nothing, and he'll start pushing himself to his feet and just yoink it out of the smoke and start striding towards Squalamus.
Squalmus is hogtied, I'm assuming on his stomach, and unconscious.
If she could have put him on his head, she would have.
Fair. So
Not
you
because
all,
it'd make it funnier, but because it'd just be funnier.
you all watch Athelstan summon this blade from nowhere and stalk towards Squalmus.
Athelstan, what are you doing?
He doesn't say anything.
Athelstan.
When he gets to him, he's gonna go down on his knees and raise the knife.
And what?
He's gonna drop to his knees and he's gonna raise the knife.
Please don't make me have to tackle you too.
I stab him.
Eli, because you have more move, you can go first with whatever you're attempting to do before Athelstan stabs Squalmus in the back of the head.
I will try to knock the knife out of his hand if I can.
Okay, how?
I guess just try to like bring her hand down right against his like wrist joint.
Bitch slap the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a strike roll. Yeah, Athelstan, you can counter it with a control.
I got a 6 on my gilded die.
6. No gilded.
No gilded. We'll say because it's the gilded, you are successful in knocking the weapon from Athelstan's hand. Now, because it's a ghost blade,
Can I like do a Bucky and like drop it and it goes poof, but it like appears in his other hand? Like, you know how he like drops it and he catches it with the other hand? Can I do like a Bucky? Can I do a Winter Soldier?
You know what?
I know. And I catch it with my mechanical hand. I like grab it from the smoke in my mechanical hand as if it fell and not dematerialized from my hand when she knocked it loose from his palm. And the cogs in his wrist whir and click as he grips it from the air, as he seizes it from the air. Continues the drive downward.
Give me a control.
I got a 6 on my control.
Another control. Because you're doing some fancy knife shit.
I'm putting a gilded into it.
You mean a drive?
6! Not a drive. Yeah, I meant a drive. 6, baby.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
die.
Okay. So you Heli knocks the blade, like hits you in the wrist, and your wrist kind of like loses its structural integrity, essentially. But as it's falling, it poofs, and you like bring your other hand up, grab it, and drive it down into Squalmus's back.
Right underneath the skull, C1 and C2.
When it hits the back of the neck, it doesn't go in. You push and push and push, and it does not penetrate the skin. We're going to go on a break, but Athelstan, while we are, I suggest you reread your Ghost Blade ability. We'll be right back.
Just says.
I'm Affy the DM, and this is the Vactair. If you know, you know.
I swear naturally. But if I have to think about it, I can't. I can't just work the words in. Shit fuck.
Could you just like give them like a bowl of lube and we can just get it to go? I don't know at this point what to say or to do.
A bowl of lube.
They make it in flavors.
I will cast guidance on your penis. There you go. Pat pat.
What if we go find a plant, 2 plants that like you connect with, and then we don't just go pick them, but like you connect with them, you know?
We'll find a shrubbery. Make sure it's nice and not too expensive.
Me.
I like gloop
to be right beside her face.
Move some real close to them
Ooh,
just in case
like this?
something happens.
What can I do to help you?
I feel like I'm on some psychedelics.
If you're a new DM or even maybe an
Don't
experienced
play with
DM,
us.
you're clearly witnessing DM failure here. Clearly. Engage
I try to
your
move
players.
my
Keep
piece,
them
I move the
interested
whole
in your
map.
game.
You have feelings and we're friends. You have feelings and we're friends. You're friends.
Don't you make this a pull door because I'll lose my fucking mind.
If I just try to open the door, does it open?
It opens out.
I mean, I'm sure you would have gotten there eventually, but
Well, I don't know why I learned this spell. So,
Flailing around like one of those inflatable tube guys.
oh no!
The wacky, flailing arm 2-man.
I don't see you wiggling, motherfuckers. Wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I only wiggle when I want to wiggle.
I'm Jason.
You want to wiggle right now?
Well, I imagine duality's wiggling.
You went really deep, man. It's not supposed to be deep tissue.
Your ass was mesmerizing.
You just need to put the tip of the needle in.
Just the tip, just for a second.
I won't be able to sit for a week.
Well, I don't feel comfortable sharing some of the naughty bathroom things I know how to do with a bunch of children. But
Why?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
ask your ghost parents.
Oh god, my husband was here for all that. You cast this spell and the sky
Go
above
watch my
begins
face
to
now.
swirl into this butthole.
They like in circles around you, like do 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 do. And he's saying this out loud too. He's making his own music that he's dancing to. Do 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 bigly, bigly. Do 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 do.
I will not soon recover from this. I have never wanted the death of someone more than right now. Keisha, it was a good fucking game, but I fucking hate Brie. Fucking hate her. I fucking hate her.
No, you don't. You love me.
I do.
When one warforged loves another warforged very much.
I see you, our one true king. We stand Brendan Fraser on this channel. We don't care what time it was. We don't care what his body type is. We stand Brendan Fraser.
Do you hear that, Jeremy? Do you hear that, Jeremy?
Brendan, more like standing.
Wolf anthros are adorable.
I'm gonna say, while you guys are talking, the camera pans out to the lobby, and everybody in the lobby can see that Sheriff is talking to somebody in that office. Not sure who. They're very chatty back and forth, though. For both the Reverend and Jesse, you immediately pick up on a couple things. Not everybody in this town is particularly...
Don't feed the babies lead paint, coward.
They don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Somebody.
Body.
Pants. We should go to that family and then see if we can appeal to them. Is that the word I want?
I think it's begging.
We could threaten them with knives.
Oh, okay.
Or
So
we
we have
could
many
just
options.
That's a good idea. Let's start them with knives. Just tell them that I murdered the entire family minus one. It'll be fine.
Might-
Nope. I once ran into a Spanish beaver. Interestingly enough, there is no such thing as a Brazilian beaver.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? You sounded like you were grapefruiting your man. You know, but he loves the video.
I'm just gonna go now. What's that? You need me? Okay.
Does this mean we win? Does this mean we won again?
I never want to leave here. Didn't even like tell us or anything. Oh my god. We go in packs for a reason, Rob. We go in packs. It's safest that way.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, hi, we're back.
Hi.
Where we
I don't
left
know
off
how
before
much-
the break.
Don't know how much you heard of that, but still.
Just that we go in packs.
We go in packs, everybody.
Yeah.
Like a 6-pack. Like a box of tampons.
A 2-4.
A 2-4. A 40.
For a Canadian, you know what that means. Anyway, where we left off before the break, the party has subdued Squalamus. Athelstan took another scar, leaving him at 3 of 4. And then he tried to murder Squalamus, but was unsuccessful because his ghost blade only works on magical entities when coated in his blood. So currently, he's kneeling beside Squalamus, who is hogtied on his face, unconscious, with his ghost blade essentially pushed up at the base of his neck, but unable to penetrate.
I imagine it's like very Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yes, very much so. Keli, you are right there beside Athelstan. But what are Razira and Breeze doing in the interim?
Watching how this plays out.
Okay.
Right now, probably just waiting to see what happens next, because like that knife came down and just stopped.
Yes. It's almost like the knife itself hit like titanium.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like a standard knife either. It's not like it manifested and was steel. You can definitely tell there's some sort of magical essence to it. It has like a glow to it. It almost looks a bit like a light sword.
So did it like bounce?
Copyright infringements?
Did it hit and like bounce off, or did it hit and just sort of like stick and not move?
It's hit and it's kind of stuck there because it was like a straight down thrust into the back of the neck.
I imagine it's kind of like a misericord, yeah.
Yeah, if he had tried to like slash down like executioner style rather than stabbing, it probably would have stuttered across like the back of Squalamus's neck, but it's just sort of like wedged there. You can definitely see where it's kind of pushing into, if you feel like the back of your neck or the back of your head just below where your skull ends, there's like that little divot between, your tendons and everything. It's sort of like wedged into that spot.
Okay.
So with that information, what are you doing, Breeze?
Just basically there and like not wanting, like seeing that it's not doing anything, like, okay, something's weird happening here. And just wait to see what Athelstan's next move is before doing any more reaction than that.
Okay. Keli, highest move. What are you doing next?
I guess thinking that it didn't like do anything. You would just try to like, I guess, talk to Athelstan. Why are you doing this? Answer me.
No more loose ends.
It's broken like everything else here.
Exactly. He always was, Keli. He's done
He
things.
always was in his nature.
I understand it was in his nature. Just because he was preconceived to do things, that is a reason, not an excuse, Keli. We have left loose ends all over the domains of dread, and it has brought us nothing but pain. There are others here that we are supposed to be worried about who are trying to stop us from achieving what we're meant to be out here doing. And you know that this little fucker would easily find a way to become a part of that. If we let him go, if he lives, he will not stop. It will be a big problem. Just the fact that it's personal doesn't change anything. He hurt everyone here the last time I saw him. Sure, he looked different. Sometimes there is no high road, Keli. It doesn't make me sink down to his level. Because what I'm doing here is stopping the next horrible thing happening that he is the cause of. Look at that fucking thing, and he gestures to the scythe. He's used that here. And if I let him go now, if we let him go now, he will use it again, whether it be on us or some other person who didn't deserve it because it's in his nature. No more.
Wrong, and you know it.
How is it wrong, Keli? If killing him means that you, that Breeze, that Razira, that Atlas, myself, are going to live and make it out of here, unharried by anything of his doing, that's right. There are no scales here. You don't decide what is right and what is wrong. Neither do I.
And you do?
I just said neither do I. Whether or not it is right or is wrong, Keli, this is the facts. Help me out here, Razira. Breeze. Am I not right? Keli, am I not right?
Well, why do you have to kill him? We have him hogtied. We have him completely tied up.
For now. What are we supposed to do when he either gets loose? What are we supposed to do with him? Keep him like a pet? Kidnap
Back to
him?
Moria.
He just looks so put out.
Yeah, she's like,
She's literally like dead weight.
Yeah.
Fine, I guess I'll accept your love, Mom.
Fine. I don't like it, but if you want to carry him back to Moria, be my guest. We can do that after this. Whatever we end up doing, he does not get out. And if there's ever a chance that he's going to put us in danger, he's done.
Agreed.
Rosera is just currently looking down the hole, trying to figure out how deep it is, and if she could just drop Swallow Mist down there and be done with it.
Give me a survey roll, Razira.
Athelstan was actually about to get up and head over to the fucking hole anyway and drop a rock down to see how deep it was and then just...
Survey, so... 6 non-gilded.
6 and a 5? Okay. It's not very far. Like you've sort of already pictured, the top of the balustrade is like semi above ground. and it's about 6.5 feet down.
Can I like do the sit and just whoop before in a? Can I do that?
For you, Athelstan, as you look down, you see obviously the cobblestone, the stonework, but you also see a skeletal clawed hand curling up over the edge of the sinkhole, right by your feet.
I'll carefully kneel down. And as he is, he will cut over to Keli once more. He'll cut over to Keli and he'll say, "Don't, for the love of gods, make me say that I told you so. Please, Keli." You know my vote. And he reaches down and takes the hand in his. Gently.
Any response, Keli?
I don't think so. I think at this point she's at the point where like she does not want to take more lives than she needs to. But she also understands that like Squalamus is dangerous.
Sometimes people need killing.
Kind of frozen.
Okay. Breeze, Razira, anything to add?
Nope.
Not right now.
Okay. As you reach into the sinkhole and take this skeletal hand, it curls around yours in response. And you begin to pull up, and there's that familiar resistance of like helping somebody up over like a ledge or off the ground and lifting them up to their feet.
We'll speak to it. I've got you.
The hand like squeezes around yours, and as you're pulling it up, as it sort of breaches the threshold of the sinkhole, it's almost like skin is growing along the arm. You see pale, slightly tanned skin with some freckling on it. As you pull it up and pull it up, you get to the elbow, and then clothing begins to manifest. The sort of tattered shreds that you were seeing begin to like stitch together and redevelop into this sort of sheer elbow length sleeve of a gown. It's this robin egg blue color. And the same goes for the rest that comes up. The shoulders are exposed as they're off. The gown itself is off the shoulder. There's a necklace that has just a very simple aquamarine gemstone hanging from it. The face comes to fruition, rebuilding before your eyes in layers of sinew and muscle and blood and skin. Green eyes look up at you as dark hair blooms and gathers from her brow, extending over the top of her head, falling down in long tresses that go down to her waist. And before you know it, an elfish female is standing beside you, looking up at you, just a very faint smile on her lips.
Oh dear.
Found me, my son. She like folds her other hand over yours and is just holding on to it so tightly.
Why?
Why what?
Did you do it?
Do what?
Why did you hurt me?
Sometimes we have to do things to the people that we love the most. I pushed you to save you.
Why did you leave me?
I had no choice. I was dead shortly after you were born. Kind of like reaches up and just reaches for your hair, but like pauses, like she's waiting to make sure you're not going to pull away, or just kind of strokes through the shorter hair, touches the new scar on your temple, and then down your cheek. It's been a hard road. I can't defend everything that I had to do, but I did it for you.
What do I do? How do I stop him?
I can't. It's already done.
Sorry I left you.
You didn't leave me. I was dead. Not everything is your fault.
Starting to realize that.
Sometimes people are cruel to us when we have no input. And sometimes things happen to good people. But we can't let it change who we are. She just sort of pointedly pokes at your chest.
Yes. What now?
I understand this place, which I barely do. I'm your anchor.
You understand more than me.
It's only by a fraction, I promise.
So you're staying here with me?
For now, yes.
I thought you'd be taller.
I thought you'd be shorter.
She also thought you'd be purple.
That is true, yes.
I thought you'd be purple.
I did too. I was once. Well, ashy. Purple-gray. But
What do I call you?
I wish
Well,
you would call me
What do
Mother.
they call you? What do they call you? What is your name?
Athelia. Athelia.
What place?
Of what place?
What house?
Once upon a time, the House of Rex. Before that, nothing worth mentioning.
We'll see. He'll just like turn back to the others. This is my mother.
Hello.
Hello. I have no idea what's going on.
That's okay, it's a lot.
You can say that again, Rosira.
I have no idea what's going on.
I just pulled a skeletal hand out of a hole and it became my mother.
Mildly traumatizing.
Mildly, to put it mildly. Let's go. There's other bleed marks that we have to take care of.
Did we take
Do we
care of
need
this
to go
one?
after the other ones?
The other ones, I don't know what don't quite understand what a bleed is. But if you mean the others here.
Who else is here?
The librarian is in the book.
Oh, the book. It's here.
Yes.
And he like flips around and looks at the and looks towards where the library would be.
Yes, that way. And I don't know what lies in the dungeon, but I feel it.
Well, it could be Escosa.
Possible.
Is that who we fought?
No. Escosa is a seer that Ozalin kept in the dungeon. He used to sneak down to talk to him. Well, them. Elzarath is stuck in the book.
Yes, or at least bound to it.
What does that mean?
Which part?
Stuck in the book.
That sounds painful.
Where the book lies, so does he.
Elzarath is a ghost. Or what's left of it.
Very much doubt that here.
What's left of him, at least. And the book is a tome of my father's own making that allowed any who read it to retain their memories in a place where everyone was meant to forget.
Yeah, that much I figured out. It was how can you be stuck in a book?
That book sounds really dangerous here.
You'd be surprised. We actually went inside of basically. No, never mind. I became a stone, so that's neither here nor there. It wasn't even able to bite anyone's head off.
Your mother just kind of like pats your hand, like they're there. I'm sorry you didn't mean, get to do chaos and destruction and pull an Ozzy Osbourne. It's okay. There.
Pet. Are they related to me too, anchor-wise? Does it feel that way?
I don't think so. I think they're just stuck here too.
What will happen to you when and if we get out of here?
I don't know.
We have a place you can stay.
I would like that. I'm not very well meant for the wilderness.
He looks her up and down. I guess you weren't much of a hunter, more of a scientist.
I was a bit of a backyard cellar scientist, yes.
Did you just say the equivalent of a backwoods scientist? She's a hillbilly drow? Oh my gods, I love this woman. She's cooking moonshine in the back steel.
Yeah, like moonshine and meth, probably.
She's a drug dealer. Oh my god, she's Mr. Wink. I love it. All right, cool. Okay, so do we go get Elzaroth, or do we come back for him another day if we have time for it?
He's not related to your anchor.
But he has or is a part of the book.
I know.
And I've wanted it since we've left. We can leave it. I suppose we've done enough here today. Now,
where else would my be? This is literally the only place I've been in Darkon.
What does Moria's map say?
It didn't say anything
What other
specific.
places?
It did have this area circled as a possible location of an anchor. It doesn't say specifically who it might be related to or anything like that. It just has, here's a bleed that kind of popped up around the same time that you guys showed up. Maybe check it out.
Out of character, Moose.
Sorry, Artemis, you're really quiet.
Sorry. Is that any better?
Yep.
Oh, much better.
Somebody head bonked my microphone with their forehead and turned my
What a bitch.
Oh,
Turned your
Pasta's
game
just
down.
trying to help. She knows that you're stressed.
Pasta.
Pasta, I
Pasta.
promise that we're not fighting for real.
It's okay. It's just a game.
She's literally asleep. She
Good
gives
The,
you
girl.
Robux.
the game that Maggie lost.
Oh,
without
fuck
even
you.
playing.
And now we all
Sorry.
lost.
Fucking hell, duality.
God damn
Okay.
it, duality.
Anyway,
Maggie wasn't here to say it, so somebody had to continue the joke.
that's true. So you can answer, or you can go for Artemis's question. They asked about any other bleed marks that were marked on the map.
There are a couple. This one was one of the ones that was further out. There's a couple that are not directly in this area, but there are some further south. That again, everything seems to have shown up around the same time that you did. There's a couple in the city. This was just the one you kind of picked to go to first.
Does it look like there's any that are marked where Martira Bay would be?
Looking at the map versus kind of orientating yourself, not really. But you feel very thirsty all of a sudden.
Can't even let me drink my tea in peace.
That's not water, Artemis.
I literally
Artemis doesn't
never
drink
water on stream.
Artemis doesn't drink
I don't know
water.
why we're still having this discussion 3 years later.
I mean,
Because
granted,
you need
I
to
do
drink
not
water,
drink water.
bitch.
You mean, I mean, like, water is important, but also I don't think I would drink the water in Wisconsin either.
You know, it's super disgusting. And my Brita filter needs a new filter, so sorry. But
You should
I'm
get 2
drinking
Brita
Diet
filters,
Pepsi.
and you should, like, Brita filter your Brita filter water.
Double
It's like when
filter.
they make coffee
Anyways.
with coffee. Yeah, we look at their map, a place that Razira could feel connected to, aside from Castle Avernus, unless we have to go down into the dungeon because for some reason Hiscosa possibly has a tie to Razira, or Alzaroth for some reason has a tie to Razira. The book? Squalamus?
No, not Squalamus.
Razira, do you feel any particular pull nearby?
Make a sense roll.
Oh, gods.
I will give you a drive. For the love of gods, I will give you a drive.
Okay, that means I have a 1 die.
You also have 3 drive yourself that you could use.
Oh yeah.
I just have a lot that I could give for that, so.
I'll use the drive then for the first time.
Wow.
Hi, baby kitten.
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Wow.
Okay. You feel
gassy. Too much bacon.
You
That
give
would
like
fit with 0.
a little fart, just a tiny like squeaker, and then you feel connected to the one that was in the dungeon.
Oh no!
Go figure.
Oh no, she's related to the Vistani seer. If it's Dez, I'm gonna piss.
Well, that makes sense, though, honestly. If they're a Vistani, that makes sense that they're tied to Razira.
Why?
Because they go back and forth between places, and Razira went back and forth between places.
Okay.
Technically, she only went 4th. She didn't go back 4th.
I know, but I mean, she still traveled.
Okay. So, Razira, do you have any outward reaction to that? Or say anything?
She points down.
We all just groan.
I haven't seen Hiscosa in quite a long time. This might be interesting.
Which one is that again?
Dungeon.
The dungeon? Oh, we have a place to put this one then. She points to
my mother.
Swallomus.
My brain went.
Why would you want to put me in
mother
prison?
Needs to stay with you.
No. The imp that's not an imp that likes hitting people with scythes.
He could go 6 feet into the ground.
Not unless we have to.
I think we have to, but
Your mother's gonna have to stay up here while we go down there, though.
she can't go. Wait, hang on. Sorry, don't say that. I didn't mean to say that.
Why do you say that?
Do you want to turn back into a skeleton?
I don't think that she can do that.
I had no control over that. Technically, I phased from spirit to skeleton to white person.
It is very alarming.
You're doing better than me.
This one used to have
My
used
halo
to be completely
turned
covered.
into a scar.
I wondered.
This one used to be completely covered in fur from head to toe.
They have spells for that.
And Breeze over here used to have hooves for feet and an adorable little tail.
And antlers.
And antlers.
Keeley just goes, yay.
Hey.
She connects eyes with you, Keela, and is like,
Oh God.
I miss my antlers.
I think somebody hit a skunk in my neighborhood.
No.
Oh
Are they just fucking outside your
That's
window,
the
just
worst.
doing a big fucking bong rip?
No, no. There's a dispensary like a freaking block from where I work. I know that smell, and it's slightly different from a skunk.
Well, there's different strains, and some of them are more skunky.
Whatever we end up doing, we can't leave him here, because if he gets away, then we're fucked. As I've said before.
Him, we can haul down there and throw in the dungeon if you really feel like it.
That sounds fun.
I don't care about that.
Hold on, so you're willing to just let somebody starve and live to death in a dungeon, but you won't let me in one single blow sever their connection between their C1 and C2 vertebrae, severing all nerve endings as well as their spine from their fucking head.
You start talking science and you can just see Keeli just checks the fuck out.
I hear the AOL startup sound as soon as I start talking.
Yeah,
I was like, why do I bother?
She just is like, yeah, no.
Beep, beep, beep.
Why do I
beep.
bother?
Atlas is not backing up.
It's better than what it could be. You cut his head off, he's full of shit, like it's everywhere.
He's the one who's been shoveling it lately. Well, a part of it. I still say we kill him.
I know you do.
But sure. You're carrying him. Let's go. We gotta find a way down there.
How big
Unless
is
you want-
Squalamus in this form?
5'2".
5'2", lanky. Trying to think of his name, but he was an actor in like the 30s and 40s, maybe the 50s.
Charlie Chaplin?
No, but he usually played like the henchman. He had really like big bug eyes.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
I know.
I don't know his name, but I do know who you're talking about.
The guy who played Igor?
No, not him.
Big
Close,
Lebowski.
No. He talked funny too. Like
he talked like this.
Yeah.
That sounds like Igor.
Robin Williams did like a impression of him in Aladdin. Yeah.
Can't
that
bring
is Igor,
people
but
back
yes.
from the dead. It's not a pretty picture.
Yes.
I don't like doing it. Harry Wilson? No, that
Peter
sounds like
Lorre.
hot.
Yeah. That guy.
He's got like very like bug eyes and just very like henchman-y, skeevy, slimy kind of guy.
What was his name?
Yeah.
Peter Lorre, L-O-R-R-E.
Peter Lorre, yeah, with the two
Yeah.
R's. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Little Italian ass little fucker.
Worked a lot with Vincent Price.
Yeah, he was from Slovakia.
Okay.
Can
Given
we go-
that
do we go down the
Keeli's
hole?
built like a Brit chick, like,
The brick shit house.
do you think she could carry him? Yeah.
Carry, sure.
Like a backpack.
He's gonna bite you and shit on you.
Well, he's hogtied, so if you use him like a backpack, he'll be facing the other way.
I'll make sure to walk behind Keeli.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can strap him up like a backpack. What do you do with your actual backpack?
I'll wear the fucking backpack.
Can I put it in the front like a baby Bjorn?
Sure.
And put the imp in the front like a baby Bjorn?
Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's what you
I
do.
take a handkerchief from my pocket and I fucking gag the bitch. I don't care. I don't want to listen to this dude.
That's
Okay.
fine. I don't care about that. But like,
Heard that.
What are you watching, Rob?
I literally clicked nothing.
Sus.
Mm.
Anyway.
Also, my volume was supposed to be down. I have no idea how I got up.
The same way other things get up.
Yeah.
Should we go down the sinkhole or should we find another way in? It's only about a 6.5
maybe we
foot
can
drop.
try to find a way that's like closer to the library and go in that way. Because the library, if I remember correctly, was like on one of the upper floors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
does it look like we could get close enough to one of the like spires or something like
climb in a
that
window?
that would be near where the library was?
Yeah,
so that we're
absolutely.
not having to go all the way down, cross a courtyard that's underground, and then climb up through a castle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
cool. Let's go.
The closer we can get to it up here, the better.
We agree, so we do it.
Okay. So again, sort of figuring out where you are versus where you want to go. You're able to make your way across the courtyard, above the courtyard.
Get my way. Downtown.
To
Walking. I'm a seagull. Go fuck yourself.
to where the library is located in relation to the parapet that you were on. There is a spire here that's only like about 3 feet above the ground, and you know that there is a little bit of a tower room that was used for observation, imprisonment.
I thought we were going to the dungeon.
Eli said library, so
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
mean, I'll
don't
take
know why
the
I was
book.
stuck on the library.
I'll take the book.
I guess it makes more sense to go down the sinkhole then, if we're going.
Or
down the
does it?
dungeon. Sorry.
Or does it? Because like the library, ground floor, dungeon.
You just want the stupid book.
Of course, I want the stupid book.
You are one scar away from being dead, my dude.
Retired doesn't mean dead. Means I get to stay at home while all you guys do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, but what happens when we go back to the domains?
I get to go back.
You?
Yeah. Wishful thinking. Fine. Let's go to the dungeon.
All I'm
We agree, so we
imagining
do
is-
it.
All I'm imagining is getting that book, and the next time we see Yenrik, just beating him with it.
Throw the book at the rabbit. We agree, so we do it. Dungeon bound. Here we come, Hiscosa.
So the one large spire, the one large turret that sort of led you to this, you know that has a direct spiral staircase from the top to the basement, the cellar, the dungeon, whatever you want to call it. So since it's so far above ground, there is actually a window that you wouldn't be able to squeeze through because it is meant to be an extension of the prison. But with some, I don't know, forceful entry, you might be able to rip open a window a little bit bigger. So
Have
you can
at it,
squeeze
brick shithouse.
You want me to Kool-Aid Man through the window?
Sure. Do it with
I mean-
Squalamus first, for all I care. Ass
I mean,
first. Back it up.
Rosier will try it.
To Kool-Aid Man through the window?
You are not a barbarian anymore.
Give me a
that
strike roll.
Strike roll.
If you're just trying to Kool-Aid Man through it, yeah.
6.
Okay. It's also a stone wall.
That was the part I was concerned about.
So you can take a body
Okay.
and you get one leg through. That's it.
I'll use my body armor on soaking it.
Okay.
I promise my party is normally a little bit more with it.
No, we're not.
That's a
don't lie to your mother.
I don't know what they were trying to do.
Neither do I. We don't often know what Razira is trying to do.
Why did they look like
usually
this?
Works. That
Razira.
usually works.
Razira, look at your body.
I have like a crowbar or something in my survival gear or something that I could use to help in this situation that would be in the gear there.
While Beavis and Butthead are working on that, Athelstan
Yes.
will go over to Breeze and be like, "You okay? You threw down a bomb and it exploded in your face."
I was trying to give you cover. It didn't work. I didn't
Trying to
throw
give
it
me
far
cover.
enough.
Trying to give me cover. You care about me.
Trying to make it so you could, like, sneak attack him.
If it had worked, I would have sneak attacked him really good.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have actually gotten blood on my knife this time, and then I would have worked. Still figuring this thing out, and he just like dances his fingers through the smoke. It's weird. Smoke versus earth and vines and stuff. How's that going, Keli?
Eli can give me a control roll to see how it goes.
I'm gonna use a drive.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to start pulling individual stone blocks from the window itself to make the opening bigger that you'll be able to actually access the interior of the castle. It's probably going to take a little bit. So while you're working on that, what's everybody else doing?
Flirting.
Flirting?
Trying to help.
You're trying to help Keli?
Yep.
Okay, how are you helping?
Would you like to Tom and Jerry through the wall?
I mean, if Keli... What exactly is Keli doing?
Taking a crowbar and basically, like, chipping away at the stones.
Okay, I guess Brazier is not completely helping, just trying to do that frickin' meme from that dude in front of the White House trying to rip the gate off with the
Let me
bars.
in! This is a beautiful thing. Athelstan's just like kind of watching and like kind of murmurs to Breeze. Do you have anything that will cause more of a small controlled explosion rather than just smoke in that bag of yours?
I've got some flash powder.
What's flash powder?
Think the old cameras, how they would have that.
Yeah,
thing.
Cedar knows what it is, but Athelstan does not.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, it's... You know how Alaric's cannon used to, like, explode stuff out of its face?
Black powder.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Not as powerful.
Just way less powerful.
But instead of it being black powder, it's flash powder.
Yeah, it just flashes. It doesn't, like, explode.
Is it like a blinding effect?
Yeah, possibly, if it's enough of it and you're close enough.
Well, we could stun the stone wall to death.
Yeah.
What is it? Phosphorus, I think it was?
Yeah,
I
it's
think so, yeah.
phosphorus. If it was magnesium, it'd be really fun.
If it was magnesium, it'd be great. Or anything in that first column of the periodic table.
Now sometimes I wonder, Rob, how come you're a math teacher and not a science teacher or a chemist teacher?
Because I was terrible at chemistry in university.
But you liked blowing shit up, didn't you?
Actually, I never got to blow anything up in science, but
You never got to blow anything up in science? It's October. You have to blow up a pumpkin.
not on purpose.
Oh, come on. We put a hole in our ceiling back in high school. It was great.
Yeah, the only thing I did was put a cork in something when I wasn't supposed to, even though 3 lines higher in the instructions it said, put the cork in, and then apparently there was a new experiment that we were doing. So I went, okay, cork goes back in. Like 5 seconds later, bang, it shoots off and hits the roof, and I got yelled at.
That's amazing. I love that for you.
It's the only time I ever got yelled at in school.
That's because Rob's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Rob's a good boy. How's it going, Keli and Razira?
Cat Lady Liz says Razira is doing what all cats do, even though not currently a cat, helping by supervising judgmentally.
Yep. Looks like a cat, probably smells like a cat, eats like a cat. Doesn't know if she shits like a cat, but seems like a cat.
Yeah.
Does
Sure.
Rosira have post-poop euphoric zoomies as well?
Or have the urge to bury their shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a smart thing to do in general, but...
I'm not commenting on that one.
Anyways, how is this going?
It's going. It's one crowbar against a thick stone wall. So it's going to take a minute.
I thought it was like a window.
It
Or
is,
iron
but the
bar or
wall
something.
around the window is stone. And it's thick. And you have one crowbar.
Any other means here? I can try and resonate with the wall, but I can't guarantee that won't kill me at this point, according to Keli. Also, I have a splitting headache.
I wonder why. What did you do anyways?
You said that sarcastically. What is that all about?
I don't know, you were like staring at Squalamus and then he passed out and then you passed out and...
Well, I tried I tried an old trick. And it worked a little too well in the wrong place, I guess.
Apparently.
Used to have like a whole thing where like I would tell someone to look into my eyes, and then they'd see my terrible visage and be afraid. It was pretty sick, but worked a little too well, I guess.
Yeah, that doesn't really work here.
It did something.
I mean, it did, but like...
He like reaches up and like rubs at his temple.
Yeah, you've got like... kind of look like weird tattoos. And I'll try and sketch out like what these new bruises, scars, whatever.
You can definitely feel them. Like they're not raised exactly. They're more like imprinted. So they have a dip to them as opposed to a raised sensation.
I always was ugly. He kind of smirks thinking about Eugene.
It's giving you back to your purple color. Just in those spots.
Does it look weird?
A bit.
Does anybody else have any tools so we can help Keli here?
Because you prepped beforehand, if you didn't select all of your gear before leaving, you are able to say you have something. Rosira and Keli have something that would be helpful if they have gear slots available.
I have...
Do we still have the one extra slot?
I have one slot, yep.
You have the additional slot because you prepped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have one slot left.
Then I have two.
So I could say that I have my excavation tools with me.
Yeah.
Forgot you're like a paleontologist or something. The paleontologist.
Yeah.
No, worse. She's like an archaeologist.
Nah, you're like Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
So
on the wrong side of the river.
Yep.
Love that movie. You're like working at this window with your crowbar, and then you're like, "I'm a fucking idiot." You pull off your bag, and then you start pulling out excavation equipment. And we'll say it's things like a pickaxe, maybe a couple sticks of dynamite.
You actually kidding me, Keli?
A little rock
Listen.
hammer from this Great Escape.
I golf clap.
Did you forget you had the heavy stuff on your back?
No, it's on their front now. That's why they forgot, because they have an imp tied to their back that should be dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I
did
got
you
nothing,
forget
guys.
You had the heavy part that you moved off your back
to the front.
I mean, half an hour ago now, but like.
Listen, I never said I was smart.
Oh, you didn't have to.
And also, this place is weird, okay?
Your reputation precedes you.
Jerry's still salty about that door.
I did it for the lulz.
3 years ago.
I wasn't even there, but I see the clip all the time. She's like, I pull it open.
It's a pull door.
The sliding door.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've done the sliding door.
Yep.
I've had a character like literally, and I even said it was a sliding door, but they threw a shoulder into it and it like bent up because he was a Goliath.
Yeah. So Keli, what do you do when you remember you have these excavation tools?
Probably swear a lot.
Yeah.
And then take out like. I'm not using dynamite for this. That's dumb.
Why?
So, because I don't want the stuff around us to just collapse under us.
I guess that's reasonable. You could always use Squalamus to hit something with.
If there's like a pickaxe in there or whatever,
Yep.
I would probably use that to like go around the frame of the window and like make sure that comes out. And then start making the hole bigger so that we can get through.
Yeah, between you and Razira now with a pickaxe and a crowbar, you're able to more swiftly kind of cut out the window frame, the bars, and you have enough room now that even your more posterior-laden members would be able to slip through. The ones with the big asses.
Fat ass. You say? I know. I was saying. You saying I got a fat ass? PHAT?
We've established that Atlas has got some cake. In this form.
Like ridiculous amounts of cake. What did Moira say? Moria said she's just. I had to put it somewhere.
Like pack it all in the butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a whole horse in there.
Like Razira, probably Breeze, they would both be able to get through relatively easily. Keli, you'd probably have to like push the boobs in.
That's what she gets for wearing a push-up corset. Like some sort of leather daddy.
And you would have to like either put Squalamus in first or drag him in after you.
Hit every corner on the way in.
We managed to get through the hole in the wall eventually.
Yep.
Yes.
We agree, so we do it. We go downstairs to the dungeon and we meet the guy.
So entering this tower room, it is very much what you would picture as like a prison in the sky. You know, a little stool, a bucket, a bed that's kind of strapped to the wall, some straw, and that's about it.
Ranrar locked me in here one time.
Before we go down the steps, I just look at Athelstan's mom and point at the ground and just say, "Don't cross that threshold."
Okay, I'll stay here.
Just in case.
Okay. Is it okay if I stay out there and not in here? I don't like small spaces.
Me either. I don't blame you.
I'll be outside.
it with the women in my life and being claustrophobic?
That's trauma.
I used to fly. Being in tight spaces is terrifying.
She like climbs back out and is just hanging out there because no, thank you.
Athelia's good out here.
Yeah.
It's like Taco's good out here, but it's Athelia.
The trapdoor that leads to the spiral staircase is open, so you know it's not locked, and you're able to start descending in towards the dungeon. It does take a fair bit of time because this is one of the tallest spires in Castle Avernus. Are you just going?
Yep. Single-minded. I think like keep an eye out or like whatever with our gunsmith over here for like things that are hunting us? Question mark. And anytime Squalamus like picks up his head like he's gonna be conscious again, Athelstan just like clocks him right in the temple.
Okay. Rosira, give me a survey roll.
Okay, a survey roll. All of 2 dice. 3.
You don't see anything. It is dark. I'm assuming one of you has the torch.
The Jurassic Park torch.
Yeah.
Can I... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I, instead of a survey roll, make a sense roll?
What are you trying to sense for?
Sensing whether or not, as we descend, if we are the only ones in this vicinity, or seeking out a feeling of being like a predator feeling, something that he's very familiar with.
Okay.
Something that looks at him as if he's prey.
So I would say this is extending your senses again.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
All right. So you can do your sense roll, and if you have resistance still, go ahead and add the resistance die.
So what happened to Squalamus when we crossed the point that we would be going underground? Anything?
Nothing.
Stayed the same.
Probably snored.
As you push below the surface of the earth and you've descended into the tower of Castle Avernus, that just sounds so weird to say.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, huh?
No, I just mean you're descending the tower underground.
Yep. Oh, okay. Up is down. It's
Up
fine.
is down. So you're moving down and you let your senses kind of spread out around you. In the tower itself, you don't sense anything, but you sense things outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it is, though.
We're not alone.
Are we ever?
Never thought we were.
Moving further down the tower, you recognize when you start passing into the areas that attach to, like, the living quarters and the labs, the library, other floors where, you know, life had happened, as opposed to just stairs and sky. You make it past the ground floor.
Yoink. Athelstan's collar when he tries to sneak out on the level that the library's on.
No, he doesn't try to sneak. He definitely looks down the hallway, and if you grab his collar, he's like, "Don't fucking right now. I'm still mad at you."
As you're descending, there are
He
windows.
like pushes you playfully.
As you're descending, there are windows that you can kind of peek out, and you can see very much like Revalis. There's a sort of cavernous opening that you can see, like the courtyard, Eugene's house, the rest of the castle roof, other spires. And then when the windows go away, you know that this is the point where you would be underground. So you're subterranean right now.
Extra underground.
Extra underground. Extra underground.
Sub.
Extra sub. It gets colder. Like before, when you're in that space, that sort of pocket where old Darkon exists, it has that musty, chill but humid feeling to it, like clammy.
Those
now
are
it's
wonderful
just
adjectives.
Like an old cellar.
Like an old cellar. Yeah, like it's the air is kind of
With a dirt
sticky
floor.
and thick and cold, but moist. When you get to the subterranean area, it's just frigid. It's not moist or wet or thick. It's just cold.
Roll my sleeves back down.
The
I don't like it here.
Razira especially, you were very upsetty spaghetti about being down here. It's very, very cold. You finally reach the very, very bottom of the tower stairwell. And you see before you a familiar wood door, banded in iron, with a small window that has bars on it. There is a lock. Beyond that, if you kind of take a peek through the window, anybody taking a peek through the window?
Zero will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taking a peek through the window, you see a long corridor, stone for about 15 feet. Beyond that, it turns into bars, and then a little bit of stone. Bars, a little bit of stone. On either side.
I can't remember if Viscosa escaped or not. This will be interesting no matter what it turns out to be.
You got really quiet there, Cedar.
Very low.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was mumbling to myself. I thought I was muted.
Oh, okay.
Does this place look reminiscent of the asylum?
In like the
This is much more clean.
Like the familiarity is there in the sense of like an institution is familiar. Like, you know, when you're in a hospital, you know, when you're in a
Right.
prison, kind of that vibe. It still has the same like bars and cells and all that stuff, but it's not it's not specifically the same.
Okay.
It's just
And
vibes.
Kayla just kind of exchanges a look with Athelstan and then takes a look at the lock on the door.
Sure. You can give me a focus roll.
Four.
Is this the same lock that young Athelstan has clumsily picked before or stolen keys for?
Probably.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's like a higher security lock, whereas like a normal door might have 3 tumblers. This would have like 7 or 8.
Is it corroded from being underground?
No, it's like everything else that you've seen before in Ravalis. It's not decaying in the same way that you would expect.
It's just untouched.
Just untouched. Untouched and dead.
I don't know anything
Abs-
about locks.
I was gonna make a joke about Kayla's sex life, but Cedar's gonna leave that alone.
Excuse you.
Okay.
Kayla reaches through the fourth wall and chokes me out. Shut up! I'm sensitive. I'm still upset.
What do?
Anybody want to have a go at it?
I mean, if we have the lock... Wait, I have a lockpicking kit.
I was gonna say, you have a lockpicking kit. Whether or not you're good at it is another thing.
I just move out of the way so that Brazier can have at the lock.
Okay. Give me a hide roll.
Alright, I got 2 of those, and I'm going to use a drive.
Wow. Wow.
So that's 3 die. A 5.
That's your highest?
Considering my other 2 were a 1 and a 2, yes.
Oof.
Yeah, that would do it. It takes a little bit of finagling, but you're able to work the tumblers.
First try.
Not first try. If it was a 6, it would be first try.
I know, I was making a Batman joke from Lego Movie.
Oh, I don't remember. But yeah, you're able to eventually get the door unlocked.
I did it! Pike's grandpa or whatever.
The door swings open as the lock was the only thing keeping it closed. It eases out into the corridor ahead of you. A little bit of mist on the ground kind of kicks up and swirls around. And you have this long, frigid hallway ahead of you. Athelstan, you know that the seer was kept near the back of this corridor.
60 feet further, comrades, and 3 doors in. Hellboy 2.
Are you all heading in?
I'd like to put a shim in the door.
You have a
shim?
shim?
Rock or whatever. Or a rock or whatever it needs to be.
A walk?
A rock?
A walk?
Brazier will
Make some good chicken fried rice?
We'll
that
put
sounds
the
delicious.
we'll put the scythe that she's still carrying.
Okay. Yeah, that works. You can kind of wedge the scythe in so it's not going to close behind you.
My scythe! Shut up!
And you start heading down the hallway.
Next time you wake up, you'll be dead.
How does that work?
You'll find out.
I don't want to.
Not you, he will.
It's very quiet down here, except for your bickering. Your voices sort of echo down the end of the hallway and come back at you, calling you an idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Fine, I'm not talking to you anymore.
You're an idiot.
Go to whisper.
As you move further down and you come to the first row of cells, you can see they're generally empty. Sometimes a couple of them have like skeletons in them, inanimate skeletons, definitely. People who are dead and have decayed here. And as you expect, Athelstan, as you move further down, you begin to see a little bit of light coming from one of the cells, which you know used to belong to the seer. Approaching those bars, you see within... The seer's cell had never been rudimentary. It was a little bit more plush.
Lavish.
Not lavish, but it was definitely more comfortable than a typical cell for a prisoner. There was extra bedding and a little brazier for heat and light. A desk, a writing desk. Like a privacy screen for the toilet bucket. And there they sit at their writing desk, jotting away on some parchment. Their body is lean, and dressed in what you would consider typical Vistani wear. It's very colorful, very bright, and it stands out in stark relief against the cold stone walls. And before you can even speak, the hand raises, holding one finger up, in a gesture of, just give me one moment. And that's where we end tonight's session.
Mm-hmm. One more thing.
Okay, Uncle.
Thank you,
We
everybody,
won't wag our
for
fighties out.
watching, for tuning in. If you got a couple bucks, don't forget to donate to Extra Life. You'll be entered to win our prize draw. And join us tomorrow for the finale of October Colony, which was our Alien RPG mini campaign, led by Mother
They're all
Keisha.
gonna die.
They're probably all gonna die because they're all infected, or what did you call it?
Brainworms.
Mildly infected, or they got brainworms.
Brainworms or
Mildly
mild
contaminated?
infection. Mildly, that's it, contaminated. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Nobody has any idea what's happening. There's toxic mold that's making people crazy. There's brainworms. There's these things that look like demogorgons out in the jungle that tried to eat both of the pilots. Like it's just like
They
and
went
then
out
there's
into
like
the jungle.
these starfish little thingies.
There's a lot going on.
So, and facehugger fish. It's fine. Like what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's the cultivation of a xenomorph planet. Okay, they evolved.
Exactly.
The ship crashed and they evolved.
We know. Affy's character stole an egg in the last one, and then her ship crashed on this planet. So it's fine.
Well, maybe Affy's character shouldn't have been a shitty driver.
Am I the drama?
You are the drama. I am the drama.
I'm the drama. It is me.
Jared's just in chat. We'll be fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
It'd be all right.
Stick around for the raid. You can use your platinum pieces to help or hinder the party on Mondays and Fridays. And whenever we do the thing, it's fine. Whatever. We're going to go raid somebody. I don't know who yet, but we'll do it. So stick around for that. And we'll see you when we see you.
Bye.
Bye.